TV, certainly the best.
Certainly the best.
It's another wonderful day on the program, Woman to Woman. At this Sawage, your total woman. We did say the last time we met on this platform that we're going to have a part 2 of the topic that we started, which is building confidence in our girls, building confidence in the girl child, thereby, building a stronger generation of women to come. You and I know that being a woman, being a female, is a lot already, not to come and add all of the problems in this life. On top of that, being a woman again. All right, so we'll continue from where we stopped last week. And unfortunately, Mercy could not be with us today. But Favor Eniye Omarige stay with us. She's a nurse, she's a mother, she's a mentor, she's a pastor. And of course, she's a woman who does quite a number of things for the girl child. Favor, nice to have you joining me again.
Thank you very much. Good
Are you equal to the task today? Mercy's not around.
Very well, very well.
All right, I'm happy to hear that. So
Thank you.
Last week we talked about inspiring the girl child, trying to build confidence in the girl child, trying to make the girl child very assertive, to be a woman, so that the next generation of girls will be very strong. So we stopped at trying to make a girl assertive. Now, let me paint a scenario for you. Sometimes a girl wants to say no, but she's compelled to say yes to some things that she doesn't like. Let's look at sexual advances, for instance, from maybe a boss, a lecturer, somebody that is close to her or not close to her, but somebody that is kind of trying to take advantage of her. But she wants to say no. That is what everything about that girl is screaming. Her voice is saying, her mind is saying no, her body is saying no, but her voice cannot say no. For whatever reason, I don't know. So how can we train our girl to that point where she will be very decisive in taking decisions that affect her?
That's beautiful. Our female children, like I was saying the other time, communication with the mother is very important. When you allow open communication between the child, this girl child and the mother, she's able to communicate virtually everything with the mother. If you teach this child good communication, it's easy for her to know when to say no and say it outrightly.
Does communication have to do with being assertive? Saying yes or saying no and owning it and meaning it?
It's all encompassing.
Okay.
When I'm talking about communication here, I mean this girl child should be educated enough to know when to talk, when to stand for her right, and she should know that her body is her property. It's for her. Whatever concerns her, her body, it belongs to her. So whatever she doesn't want to come in, she shouldn't let it in. She should learn to set her boundaries. She should learn to know predators, people that are around her, even if they look like they are people she should respect, they are people she should honor, but that boundary of this is my body, this is me, and I don't want this. She should learn to, when the mother communicates with the girl child well enough, and she's well equipped, it's usually easy to not give in to what you don't want.
Sometimes, or most often the time, when a girl says no, people consider it as being rude. Is it possible for a girl to say no, mean it, and be polite?
Very well.
How?
It's possible to, we have various kind of words that we can use, magic words that you can use. Please, I don't want this. Please, my body is my privacy, and I don't want anybody going beyond this boundary. There are languages that the girl child should, and as much as possible, let's teach our female children not to raise their voices. You know, in our society, got the noise, and we're used to raising voices, screaming and shouting. At the point, as long as that point in time, she's not being forced, she's not being coerced, you know, in an aggressive, violent manner or aggressive manner, she can politely refuse with a low tone, and she shouldn't be saying no, and her body language is saying yes. That's another problem that we do have. Our female children can be saying, I don't want it, but you're saying, leave me now, leave me, you know. You're already giving a go ahead with your body language, but if she's saying no, her body language should vibrate no, all right? The whole of her system should say no.
You know, from experience, from what I have seen by myself as a young girl growing up to this stage, and from what girls have related with me about, I've come to realize that being polite is not always the best thing for a girl to do, because when you say no, please I don't want this, please I don't want that, some persons will say no. You know like the
Yes.
pop, like what people talk about on the street. She's saying no.
She's pretending.
She's pretending. She's actually saying yes. You know, I've come to realize that say please, stop it,
And she
does
takes a
not
walk.
usually work.
She walk away.
I'm not an advocate of violence, but there are times where you need to
No, you teach the girl
there
to
are
get
times
defense.
where times where you need to be a little bit on that side that you don't want girls to be, maybe to raise their voice or something. A girl should raise her voice, otherwise that person who is trying to take advantage of that girl will not understand.
Somehow,
Because you're saying no, and your voice is so low. Your voice is not firm.
Okay, I
Naturally, we
understand.
have small voice,
We
so
can
we should project, we should shout. What do you think
we
about
can
that?
We can actually be saying no and be firm without raising our voices, without screaming necessarily. But again, when an environment is not comfortable for you, the girl child should walk away. Take a walk, flee. Look for any available avenue to leave that place, or look for another person, you know, around that environment that you can, you know, stylishly move to, that more or less like a safe haven for you at that point in time, rather than staying around that particular person that is not
That is
comfortable.
toxic to you.
In the school environment, we encourage females that are being harassed. There are some persons in that same faculty, in that same department, there are some persons that don't, you know, that are not party to things like that. Identify people like that, and then walk up to them. They can come to their head, really. And when a girl child tells her mom in the house, Mom, this particular person, I don't like the advances it's making towards me, the parents can come in. Rather than, peradventure, she raises her voice and the other person raises his voice higher and creates an impression. Really, I think I had an experience like that as a younger nurse. Yes, I was in a consulting room with a doctor, you know, and somehow the doctor just got pissed off. He had made advances before and I didn't give in and all of that. But that day, I also consult with him and he got pissed off, and I just looked at him. He was screaming, he was just raising his voice, because the only thing I did at that time was just to walk away. If I had not walked away, whether I raised my voice at that time, nobody's going to believe the story I was going to tell then.
So walking away is good.
Take a walk.
Is it in every situation
Not
that
in
a
every
girl should take a
situation. If
walk?
your life is at risk, you can become violent too. But if you ask me, it has worked for me. I took a walk. The doctor was made to apologize to me later. But at that particular point in time, if I had not taken a walk, really, perhaps the doctor would have become even more violent than he was. And some patients that didn't understand what transpired were already saying, hey, this doctor, I know this doctor is very nice. And I was new to that environment. Oh, this doctor is very nice. The nurse must be.
I can understand.
You understand? But it took my matron at that time, I'm talking about as far back as 2007.
That's
you
a
know,
long time.
and then the matron on duty had to like come, what happened, to explain everything. She said, okay, now I understand. I was wondering,
What would have made the man go off like that?
Nothing actually happened in that consulting room that day, but he was reacting to the no.
To the no that you said.
That I said previously. And I took a walk and never consulted with him again. But today we are still best of friends. We are very good friends.
That's fantastic.
And sometimes they're like, hey, you that say you will not marry me. But was that really the case?
No.
Or wasn't it really?
Okay, let me paint another scenario.
Okay.
You know that there are times girls will do some things and they will say, I didn't want to do it, it was my friend that forced me. These are girls that are supposed to be well trained, well raised, with everything in place. But then when they now go outside the environment they are used to, you find them falling victim of their own folly. And the next thing is, my friend pushed me. I didn't want to. My friend said, how can girls overcome all of that? Because even as we speak, it is still happening. My friend pushed me. You get it? Particularly when it comes to this issue of drug use. A lot of girls are into drug use. In fact, for some of them, it is a competition. And there are some that do not want to do it. But at the end of the day, how did you come about this? My friend pushed me. My boyfriend pushed me. You know, how do we get our girls to grow past that stage, you know?
You know, one of the ways we can get our female children go past this stage is let's expose them. Let's expose them to digital information. Monitor them closely and show them some of these things and the disadvantages that comes with being involved in them. When this girl child knows very well, and then give them scenarios, can you just open your eyes and take a knife and stab yourself? And like, how will I stab myself? You know, when you give them examples like that, and you tell this girl child, that's what you do when you go into some of these vices that you really don't want to do. You are indirectly stabbing yourself. And when you give them some of this analogy, you open them to the internet, teach them how to set boundaries from friends, you know. Once it gets to a point where this particular friend is pressurizing them to go into things that they don't want to really go into, they can talk to a significant other. Their mother, maybe in the boarding school, they can talk to their house mistress, not reporting the person, but just saying, I'm just overwhelmed. And again, whatsoever the values of our families are, let's teach our children too, our female children most especially, to imbibe them. When your female child knows that this is our family norms, this is what we believe in our families, and it's become a part of them, and you don't start it when this child is already 10, 11, 12, no. Formative years of children, generally, where they learn some of these character behaviors and habits, it's from 0 to 8 years. So if you're able to put from when the baby is in utero in the womb, you are talking to the child, you are telling the child about what you want the child to be, how you want the child to become, you know, and the child comes into life, and you continue with that affirmation, tell them who they are, make them understand what they are made up of, and as they grow older, it will really be very, very difficult.
Okay, let me take you back to that constructive and adequate and beautiful communication that you said should exist between a mother and a daughter. Do you know that there are some mothers that do not have time for their children, particularly the ones that they perceive are already grown up, can take care of themselves? You know, some mothers don't have that kind of relationship with their children. So how can a child who is being bullied, who is being troubled outside, bring such a problem to that kind of a mother who does not have time? You do a 9 to 8 job, or you run a business, you are everywhere, but not where your child is. Talk to some mothers this afternoon.
It's very painful, really very painful how some mothers are interested in giving their daughters money than spend time talking with them and having, you know, day out with them. The truth of the matter is, mothers, please and please. You know, these are our daughters. These are our children. They are treasures. They are investments, in short. You know, when your child is doing well and your child has peace, you will have peace in your house. Any issue, negative issue with the children has a way of distorting the house front. So it's not enough to go look for money. Oh, I paid your school fees. I bought you this new dress that is coming on. I bought you this human hair and all of that. No, let's learn to communicate with our children. Let's talk with these female children. The truth of the matter is they want to hear you talk. They want you to listen. And when they talk to us, let's not be judgmental. Let's allow them talk. Listen most of the time. Let them do the talking. And from their talk, you'll be able to pick one or two things. It's not every time you're like, no, don't do it like this, do it like that. No, allow them. Give them, opportunity to hear their minds, hear their opinions. Then, other times you can now sit again and address some of those issues one after the other. It's not enough to just give them money. It's not enough to buy them good clothes. No. Stay with them. And again, I want to talk to those female children that it looks like your parents or your mother is very busy. For female children like that, it's called that they are very close to their father. You can talk with your dad. And if they are not very close to their father, they may be very close to someone. Yes, I had a student that was very close to me like that. And somehow, she was able to confide in me in a lot of things. You'll be wondering, this person is always carrying water can. What was inside? It's not water, female, it's drug.
Are you for real?
And there's no way the parents will know. There's no way other persons around will know. But somehow, God will always, in this life, God does not leave you stranded. God will always raise somebody for you. At every point in time, when that particular female child is going through that challenge, God will always raise somebody that the person can confide in. It may not really be a family member, but somebody that is trustworthy enough for that person to confide in at that particular point in time and help the person go through that particular period.
All right, I know there are some mothers that will not be able to tell their children, their female children, I want you to grow up and become like me. There are some mothers who will not dare say it because those mothers are nowhere to be found. Absolute nowhere. Now, how do we bring that girl to consciousness of the things that are going on around her, of the pressure of society, particularly this issue of sex slavery, sex trafficking? Do you know that some mothers aid and abet?
Exactly.
Fathers do, but the ratio of the number of fathers that aid and abet their children is not as much as the mothers. It's not as if they don't know what that girl is going to do. It's not as if they don't know the pains she's going to come down with. It's not as if they don't know the dangers. But would I say because of societal norms, we live in a society that celebrates money, regardless of how that money comes about. And you see these women knowing fully well that this girl's life is going to be endangered. They still push their daughter. You not see that person. You not see that person. I don't born you. Now time for you to take care of me. You are now reversing roles. Your 16-year-old girl, your 15-year-old girl is now becoming the master of the house, and such a child cannot be talked to, cannot be advised. So how do we get mothers to know that, madam, this thing you are doing will not benefit this girl, and in the long run, you, the mother, will suffer for it?
There's something we call behavioral change model. It has to do with persuading, educating, and encouraging people to, imbibe new and positive characters and habits, especially as it relates to their health. So this behavioral change model, if we put it in, and it still has to do with information, let's get them informed.
Okay.
Let's bring them, let's have forums where mothers can come together, talk to themselves, not just mothers and their children, mothers to mothers, talking to themselves. When a mother tells you this is how I was able to overcome this challenge, the other mother is able to learn from that and then use it for our children.
Okay, anyway, let's take this very short break now. When we come back, we'll round up. Okay, you've said so much about mother-daughter relationship. In a sentence, talk to mothers how they can instill discipline in their children, build their confidence, thereby raising a stronger generation of women.
Mothers, I want to appreciate all your efforts. Mothers, we are trying, Especially in this our present day Nigeria, it's not easy to raise, especially the female children, it's not easy at all. Sometimes your mind is not even settled that you have a female child because of the things happening around. But then I want to encourage you, please and please, love these children. Love them and talk with them. Do heart-to-heart communications with them. But that does not mean making them your friend does not mean you don't set boundaries. Okay. Set boundaries for them. Set boundaries, healthy boundaries for them, and we'll come out better for it.
All right, Aniye, thank you so much. Thank you so much for finding time to be with us on this program, Woman to Woman. We'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Certainly the best.
The man went out to bring in thugs to come and beat her.
Yeah.
In a situation like that, do you think women would have seen that and still want to speak?
Bully, we're talking
That's
about.
what I said. So
that's-
when they bullied her,
Yeah.
now, if she's not bold enough, she will shut up.
What is your advice for girls out there that are so desperate to be married?
We women, we have to be really intentional about our parenting.
If you know a child is being abused, or you see signs, a bruise or a child, it has to be investigated.
People barely even breathe when they are going for a shrebi and something.
Party.
You have to be
They
smart.
can't sit
If
down.
you see where they are dressing them up or dragging on both sides, you cannot you cannot breathe.
Oh,
And
wow.
these women will stay in those events for hours just to keep up with that beauty trend.
Is that healthy?
That's not healthy.
I am Patricia Uremu Gabriels, and we're reaching you live from our Lagos Network studio. Of course, Women in Conversation is a program designed for women to discuss about themselves.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program, Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain, which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy.
Certainly the best.
Waya botara o ugi botare se dodope o edonawe ewa yire ejo to waya fe ibotare ma agba ka e na oke de kan uyi oredo duyi ni mame uyi oredo ni no polobo uyi ore owa ni maye uyi odo ame eye wa so age yo uyi odo ame uyi omorira eya uyi orewo ya se gbe ede kan na ya mu na rewo vigwe na ya gbuwe na ya biko no ma uyi eni yaki uyi no de kan ni bon ya si sinwu na na nguna uyi yaki we say when make gware na ni fa na ma ya gwa o gbe da ba ni ya nfia uyi no we wo yi le gbo we yewe ni ari ewe na se wa we gbara na o ebe uyi no ekeni wo nu yo ya yewe na saba na gebe waro iya iyo uyi oro imi na we uyi no wa na ho ma gwa kan so ni wa ni ma ya do le gbe ma yi na we ama emoy ya no ogun egwa yewe na butana ore wa le pastor Calvary na muri obuga ya
don musa iwe dunogo me wa be na ye kai wa bi tota wa bi dan yo ofun egbo sa oba gwa yaro oba atope
ise ore wa o ti ma we Victor Bizugbe
adona uzomo wa ya wese wa se peti wa saga wa se ka peti we wa da me ho hu da me na teme ma ari unu na ri eme na ya we ni ori e wuku e me na ma gun akande na e na o ka bo wa ro so no siewo no na ye ligiligi na hallelujah emi ya kan de ya gbon oba atope
ise me o sa bo se nge no bi e o no ri e do ba yo ka we do ya fe ina me o ka gbo ibe o ya fe o ta gbon ya ka bo pon wa ya fe oba atope
ise
atame Pastor Calvary
domo
enwi e magwa
edunu pewo wa be ne ye kai wadami mase nda eme unta ni mamula diana na kan uyi nda osalobo ajagbon ona riwi lile nda ami ebo ni wiye ya se gba me no e ya mo wi ara igbe oma lára ọpa ori yi legbe ewe emi na ima oni hiwe ori egbe oya yo dona uno winya no makeke awara isi eva ne buwa odo wa ne no o aru eva koko kawe giawe nana uyi okeke no waro uiru oriko uirari oba ewe ni ara awuano orero isaro imeno wa muniti gbo oko uyi no le limit na na ki ugarae ari awe ki yo oro oruwebo esosi oruwebo meeting oruwebo doare oruwebo egbe oruwebo iko keke na iti iko no esosi no o iko na do no uyi oro uyi na aya dia ni keni uyi ye e ma yi tabi nyaga nda emo yi no gbale ya niri opa keka ya utani uyi le no wala fi moto kian ya uyi ro obono owu e wa pa obowere una alelo bono owu e uya mu moto kwa wa oni oka ota mi police aka no we do bono be na alelede no pa wa pa bo do re na alelo bowo mi ona do moto kwa mi ado ka wori abi oni waru oka ona ya bu yegbe ware sada eso wedo wa lu pa na te traffic u pa ni ya orera na kawe mudia ere bo pa osewe gbera be mana le lu yi ni we omo e no bala dia no ya ka mo mudia oge ba we gbera we na wa de fi urai e no wa keke ni na wa o ja no keke na ri o ma ni ye o ye gedegbe eri oye uye so le ro na tie da ya wa pe won we unwa me okuko nu ya wa me ni na tie bottle water ke no ka wa bo me wa fi o wa do si we ogo ile ra mo kia o ya owo ni o ya bu e ombe to wa mu me ke kan wa fi uko efua wa le police wa zoku o we tori o we wu no mu e mu du ko nu fifua e ke no ma ga ke 50,000 at sogigo o ya yo we be ya nu du ko ke kan fifua o iro ne u ga iro ai ne o ja no ke ke ara iri o ma e ke mu iye
o si
o de no ke ke oji oba atope
ise eni wa ya no ta o teme oye magwa kana oye wo wa oro uyo do ame oro uye te oro uye gbe oro imaya lele ele saro gba we na yere we na se ti yara I tema ta magbe we na se ti yara dia uni o wa ke wo kwaro be na gbe ye ni awe mi ti egbe wa do wa ni wo pa ya e ba o sa ba na do ge won akun mi awe egbe ya ko bokugbe we no ta si we na mi ti we ye ijodu no kwa enu ono ma re igo na afia ye wi na lele e ne de uyiro we edeken ayugbe deken ge no si e mi no si opa no mo bore ugbe deken edeken ayagun na rewo ayagun de ayaduko ogbojo ayalelo ino no rewo ere no na otu ya fe no kia very o da fe no nyawa iya o ha ero wa emi ama mo ni alo le gbe ke ni awele no emo we ni ka ta na we emo ya nwane ya roe egeno ho du ya so bowe muro era du ya kirune ayo ya kirune wajo yo wa kede ehun na kede kele na pa o ma be yan na egun yan ga tune o wa ro enije ni uyiwe yin ni egun ya gere to mo ni malawa obe o malawa o wa kuro wono ya bi ore aho ewe gbe dan won uyin no kwa ebi no igege ni aya ri bai wuhun ni ara eni gbe lo so abo no ge gbe ra ma ya fere eri doctor be kama eri egbe ra wuhun na uyin ogbe won ni wa ri egbe ra emi en yo ya se uyi e ma hon magi bi ni wewe na gbewe bi ni wewe na gbuwe bi ni wewe na wowe e na ya fe ni maka boga eni wa maka dogun akore Nigeria uyi Nigeria wa ke ko ana no wa re America ika mi mana wo ogi ma ria that marie wo marie wo se mama le luhi na ya luwo na ya ru ni gbe e aye na ni wa di mai go wo wa ge o te me Victor Bisugbe ko bo ke
ba wa wa se mamie e me na yunu kana e me pataki e wa no e muhi na lele e wo na le luhi te wo ni tabi anyi piripiri o we alu agbona be na tu bi okoko ta lu e le lu he awon mi akewe o wa na ewe mi yu he e me gede ya wa abemi kuru oni o si e oteme ka bari gun ne ban e we game no ruhi game an da yuhi uyi na ni amagile yele lera uyi rigi ogugwera be na ta na we eri ma we da we uyi no rigi owarwe wo ka wi nu gwalo yi we ga lele agbon ogogwa ni yimi na yiwo ode yuvi ara mewe emi ra lawo down o ga yo mo re so kwa we no yuhi we na igara ihu we mana be tie uyi ni ehwaro e manu we ye nia iya tilaiwa e no kan kan ga yu e bo na leluhi o ye we na ge ya se gba ba mo ha iya mo yi ni a le be lu ọwọ́ pàrọ̀ rẹ̀ wàhálà ọwọ́ ayé àmì tí hùn rẹ̀ dáadúró ẹ̀rọ lè ní. àyè mi ewé ní àmì àgíyè ìwáwé zúfìyàn ẹ̀kẹ́ náà ìwáwé lè lè mú dáná ó kẹ́ pìrìpìrì ọ̀rọ̀ ìwé wa ọ̀là ìwòfin rẹ̀ òye owó wà ọ̀dàfin náà yàwá ẹ̀rọ mùhí ni yọ òye ká mùhí ni yọ ẹ̀gbẹ́ èmi ìhó náà ọ̀rọ̀ ayé èmi ìhó ni mọ́yà aláwa èmi ìhó ni ọ̀rọ̀ amáhùwẹ̀ ẹ̀rí ìwà ìwà náà ẹ̀dẹ́ àgbẹ̀ amokaro na muye oru ahe ede agbedado ka asupo popa ni huda ne kore do ga fion mai no ma mu obo o erin eri ba re na uyi ni omo ya na lele we no ye we suwon yen una mu ese to ma ni keken ga mu e wo ha o te ka you know ta ba na we o ma na ye uyi ya mu e orí yuwe obi ye ha mo e ma fi ama e we re okoro pare wa so pa uyi na e o di awa e o di ode e o di ebo e wo nu yi ye emi de yu fi ewo e no ko mi do ma do re o li ri no kiye ka e gbo e mari e be in Nigeria we dey maka
oyi ma ye gwa kana ni wa e wu yi ma gwa kana ma to wo wa e pwane e wu yo o rewo o ro do in no rebo ni no ri dun idun weye ka me no do na se na daddy dun ro okadun ro okadun ni o be ka we be no ye akoko aduko we do na ya ma he de no o wa wa de wa that do wa ke we kian oyire wo be ri wa oyire uyina lele ni e ma gwa kana no yode ode mudia we dade ekele emayi du yini ma ogwa kan bania owe ni ati environmental na viku ko na kudi owo wa ho uyo ma na dobo ba lele uyo uyiregwa orore uyo ma ledo na ya do leyi e ma gwa kana ya so gbe ugi ore uyiro bene omo wate mi we omo won do genede du na lele o wa pa o wa won wa we ma won no we yan ye ma ri odo ade wa o wa kakia awa na ki do bi ona uye ya ke ni wa ama ma o so lo bo o go wa ma ma benu hiye o tere pastor
do musa oyi bi na na iriaki wi na wa yunuta thou shall not thou shall not in a time of we ọwọ́ rárá yìí wàá wẹ̀ ọ̀nà dúẹ̀gbẹ́ màmá mi rọ̀ pàwẹ́ náà pàdé ọ̀gọ́ màmá mi rọ̀ pàwẹ́ wí yẹrẹ rà wí dókè ọdẹ má bàbá mi ọ̀wọ́ náà rà yìí ọdún náà òwú gbèdìá nàtẹ̀ prison ẹ̀mà náà rà yọ̀ rẹ̀ rà òyì pẹ́kàrí zìgà ọ̀rẹ́ rà nígbọ́nà ọ̀rẹ́ rà yìí nẹ ẹ̀rẹ́ sọ pé eré bà kẹ́ka náà mi wẹ́ ebo oyi moto boba ebo ma mudianu pa na te traffic ori esera orai wa no ke tomatoes beki wa no mo de sense amuyira amara ya iye na ayu bolega o ma no ra yo sera uyi mama nwe ariyo ma hi uyi keka eri egbe na gime Nigeria na o ma wa do bigo re o wona re government o wa ra odo emu ahaiwo wa no we na be unega no de o magi yo iya ele tomatoes be gimu ki a ole yen o wa be ga we no yi la karai ba ke we do ajeda we me baba no ja wa no yi we de rai no mi kina mu leketi so ko be e police mo ba no rai awe ni no una aye uno o tu ere otabutabu wa awe la wo police are rai DPO werigi la hotel me baba wa agbera pa wo rai raboyo ekure iyawo ya do mi office e de na ko ga iri awe ya wa na wo na amami ni we uyi do kien akiyeye na ya gba kiye mufua mami uyi na ga mi we o mo na rai anari ye o ya yo de no tere ya ekbita ba we o ma amaye ku amu mi ro wa obi joma obi ro wa o ha mu uyi ọ̀rọ̀ àráyì ẹ̀bòye bárúdà imọ̀ ẹ̀ọjọ́ wẹ̀ dánámọ́ àbú ọ̀rọ̀ ayì ayédàmá kégbọ́dún wẹ̀ sún ọ̀rẹ́ ìrẹ̀lẹ̀ rédíò nẹ́dẹ̀ ìyà gbẹ̀yẹgbẹ̀ sọpọ̀ wúládọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ náà ráyì wúládọ̀ ìyàwó jí òwúrì iná ráyè ni wọ́n yí mọ̀ wẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ iná díákẹ́ wọ́n yọ́ra ìmọ̀ yẹn tọ̀ nàná tiẹ̀ ẹ̀dá pé wọn nàti environmental wọ́n á ní àríkòríkò ní búrú ìlàdíà ọba máa ní rọ́ọ̀kì àbọ̀ ayímọ́tò zẹ́kù gidigidi èso ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn amúrẹ́kì àwọn ọ̀gbọ́n ní ẹ̀bẹ̀ náà ẹ̀dẹ́ ìdàrú mẹ́ta àwọn ìlànà òyìn náà èso wà rọ̀ ní mẹ́ta ẹgbẹ́ pẹ́tù rẹ̀ àìrọ́ mọ́ná bá bòyàn ẹ̀ àbáríyá àríyá oko wọ́n ẹ̀wọ́ lajàn máa ń wí náà máa wá pé wọn ọ̀rọ̀ ayé náà ẹ̀dọ́ mi yàrá ìlú náà wọ́n ẹ̀dẹ́ ìdàrú mẹ́ta ni ó yẹ nùdá èèmà náà ká mu lọ́yà ọ̀dẹ̀rẹ̀ ọ̀mìnira ẹ̀wẹ̀ ẹ̀yà dé fi ẹ̀ fi ẹyẹ kí n lọ́ra tún ọ̀hán jẹ́ ilé àdánásọ wẹ̀rẹ̀ oyin náà wọ́pọ̀ ẹ̀yẹ nù ọ̀rẹ́ kẹwẹ́ ẹ̀yẹ máa ju ìlíàkì ẹ̀rọ oyin ìlíàkì yé ẹ̀yẹ lẹ́kẹ̀tì ẹ̀wì ọ̀nìyàn àtàrà ọ̀yọ́ owó wa náà o àbẹ́ òkó ọ̀rẹ́ wo ìgbé rà àdìgé wa náà ilé bàbá wa wí ilé bàbá wa wí ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ rí ọ̀rọ̀ àyè láríwọ́rí ẹ̀rì ẹ̀dọ́ ọ̀tún ẹ̀ ejo sayari ye ama baba ma we lopa ede be yare to bo yare mi ro ke won unda o ke mu yi ga meti o wa no rai o bi di abe no ke o ba so pe
ise eni wa oyi no we kian we no yi o we ki do de fi we do
Dek no.
Eki.
De no
Iyeki.
Na dauna.
Na dauna.
Ila loja.
Uyi no we do ni wa ikata makabe gwa kan emota ayaso yeki. Okwo no ro wodo egi bie egi ho o yeki iyeki ni awe mewe ekini odia ga ye agbon ya ron there is enough work here o wa here e we no do ya here we yi mare ba obu here o we ya ya yeki wo kan bo e da nwa de àwọn dawe èmi na no we o to se we wo no ni ate politician o do ya we yeki we do bo tedo e na we we ba ome kana we yeki ome na we ru ome kana zese eru yen oriewo ari mwere awon do aha mo awa no kwa no o li yi uda sawo ba maji mawerio yeye ni wa ni kanu wa ge eyin no ma sabon bi ma ri obo yo be do eri ya se be donia oyin no omi oku se ti di ojo we wewo omi oku ori ojo we awa ege obe ege no bi oku do ya ri ojo we e ba are ra ya ri ye we do kian eri no mi wa oyin ye ma kwa kana oyin na ya ri we do obu owo wa mayunu kan otone ege me kian bone we ni
adonabu wa otome ka ba yunu kan ba ewi no wi emi ahuda yi ti ma yi mo yi be bo na
oro
ma wa le ma yi mo ewu yi
ma wa mo oro
sopa tagi mo ese
ai mo ese ai ya ko na
mo ese wu yi ni tegi me ri ahia na mo ese a
yi wa ri ahia
ma me we emi ni ori ta won na owe enye name obi ugbekun e bi ka ya ru o ya we bet
enye
name obi o ya gbalekun o wa ra yi o ma ni o ya yo no pa bi ra ba ko e rumu do ni i o ni ta na we uyi wa ro awon be na mama so pon ma mu ro pa se no we ra yi ni ari we ni ro pa o ha ra e
o ni wi
o ni ki wi o ma ye olari oba ni o mu igo na te billions o mu pa
oya mi kai
ona we la wi moto ona we afi ewo ona we agie ona we ro pa re ba and ora gele foweri o ewi ro pa gele re ba de no I say okay ba ma be ma we gbo e ba ko already ma wata na ma te wa ma say we te wa re wo na we no ro so pa e ma ni o ke no mu di ayo we uyi na gamie we amuse oro no ra uyi na o ke no ri o ya yo ma me item opa owe gogo no ma tu de na tu ra ma no ma tu de na tu we le no ma sunu de e o sunu uze na ma le se ye me de o ke na se yo onyo ya ri lo mu uyi na ma me we o ma na ka we boede o ma ro ruwa e ro pa sunu o gele we ru da wi ro ni na we ro pa sunu ni gie ni sunu no riye mwe oha yo ma be no bege no ha ga do ma be na wi dan e do be owo ma dan wa da do ge no ya kunu e wa ye gi dan boy hu do yin na mi ewe e ro pa ro no suru dan wa no we no ra yi ni o se ni ya na do gba ni sekeseke na o ta lo gba no ri ti ni iwu egbe no ri enwa ni ma ma ra le wi ni ma we mi yu vi o ba to pe
ise anyway eye we kan ba ni oyi ọ̀rẹ́ manedo maya run maya run no ki maya re ere sọ̀rọ̀ we na ayi gwe sọ̀rọ̀ e fi wo rasan oyin no oyin no se na na we oyin we no èmi no keke na we ava una ya we rasan o se wo deke oyin ro ne na we na ru we na we o ma mi no gbo edun a oyin ni gboro ra yi ni emi ni bude osobo no masunu orun awa ni owa no rewe emi ni ya ri ewo emi ni ya ode ya ebi ya fe ne ma no amami no gbo egun osobo sunu no nu ae oya se gbe mo no bi ele e mo ti eni won o e ma ya bude we ye da do every one eyin na ira ru e bo ya kekere ebode ebo ọwọ́ adé inú ẹ̀ ẹ̀rọ ìmùtá ẹ̀ kúwé ké mọ́ ké yàfẹ́ lò dóun náà rà yìí ó má rẹ̀ rà yìí dóun náà rẹ̀ rà yìí èyí anáfíà ní yọ ọ́nà zẹ́nẹ̀ ọ̀sàrẹ́gbà rẹ̀ wẹ́wẹ́ òyìn ní ìmúyọ̀tọ̀ ni ọ̀dọ̀lọ́ yìí òyìn náà rà yìí ẹ̀wò ọ̀ ìjú kí lórí akín náà rà yìí ìnumọ́nà mọ́nà gbẹ́gbọ́n ọ̀nà yẹ̀ arú ẹ̀kíá iye kẹ́rẹ́ ẹ̀ má ní wọn ẹ̀ ẹ̀yìn mà náà ta wọ́n mọ̀rọ̀ pàmò mi náà rọ̀ ẹ̀ owó ta ọwà lórí ọwà náà kọ̀ èdè ọ̀rọ̀ náà èmọ̀ ni màá ló bìí lẹ ní òtún ní ayé mọ́kíá náà ní ẹ̀yà gbẹ̀lẹ̀ gbọ́ náà ní ẹ̀yà ìvàlọ̀ òkò ayé màmí èmi náà rẹ̀ èmi náà yìí mú rẹ̀ kàmúta orí àlè ká wà mọ́mú díà ọ̀kan ní ọwà so ọwà gbọ́ bọ́gbọ́ wọ́n láwọ́ àwọn amọ̀rẹ̀ àfihàn ẹ̀hó amọ̀rẹ̀ àfihàn ọ̀bọ amọ̀rẹ̀ gbòsà ló gbọ́rẹ̀ náfínà wà ní ẹ̀rọ àgbọ̀n náà náà dẹ̀rẹ̀ àgbọ̀ ìwò wà á gbọ́ lọ náà.
dọ́mọ̀sà mọ́mọ́ ẹ̀rẹ̀ lórí náà wọ́n náà rẹ̀ wọ́n náà ìmáyà káwẹ́ ẹ̀rẹ̀ yín múná kàkà o wà á mìíràn ní lọ́dọ̀ fún bọ́ọ̀lù ẹ̀rẹ̀ lórí náà gẹ̀lẹ̀ ààrẹ wọ́n náà náà wà á náà wò ní àwàrìyà ẹ̀kíyọ òhà mọ́mì náà dárọ̀ mami okwo biera be no biye be na ya miewe aya te ikara gwewe egeni we otene no biera me ori ayi ogbui o ma we ni da zere unyine no nyi ogbora oho na memu na yo we ya lerwe we gbuyi ni ede na wa ni boti maga osumbo na yara we ge ni aweri ara eri agbe azigoro ya anamuya uyina muya uyiri mu ya ne anabe uyina abelia o ikpọrù lọ́wọ́ ọ̀nà rẹ̀ kò yí bẹ́ẹ̀ kí a ní òyìnbó ẹ̀yẹ́ náà yà lọ́wọ́ anabelia adetimade anabelia araya di akwa anabere yẹn lọ pàdé ayé rẹ ọtímade polisi náà káyà dúpẹ́ dúpẹ́ yà anabe gbẹ́wà wẹ̀rẹ̀ mìíní ní orí sùnmù náà ní polisi yìí náà ọ̀sẹ̀ náà ọtímade yẹn uyiri náà ojina ni mi ẹ̀rọ náà ọ̀nà sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀mẹ́mẹ́ anínibọ̀sùnbọ̀ ẹ̀yìn rọ kéèké mú yíyé ènìyí ẹ̀ á ju ilé àká dòkèkèrè ìrìn àdènàrí náà lọ́ra òyìn ni bẹ́ẹ̀ tí màá sún ẹ̀ àyẹ̀kè mú yíyé bàbá bẹ́ẹ̀ tí a sún ẹ̀ rẹ̀ ọmọ mi òyìn àdìẹ ó yá yìí lọ́wọ́ yá ni òyìn o.
Wúdà wà rẹ̀ ènìyàn ọmọ àìsàn gèlèrè mi àyè mú ẹ lébùtẹ̀ red handed ọ̀rẹ́ mi èkó wíyẹ náà ọ̀rẹ́ wíyẹ gèlè náà láti confessional statement ó kíyèké àyè rẹ̀ lọ́ọ̀yà pàrọ̀ dòmùdì àyè kẹ́rẹ́ ọwọ́ ẹ̀rọ yà tẹ̀rẹ̀ ẹni wíyàn gèlè wẹ̀
ọwọ́ kàkà
ọwọ́ ta gbọ́mọ́ra ẹ̀rẹ̀ ọmọ gbá afọ́sẹ̀ ẹ̀yọ̀ ònú ọ̀hán osisi náà mú dá ẹ̀
ọ̀hán mú ẹ̀
ana tẹ ẹwẹ ọdá jurors ẹni yarusi ìnáwó gbẹkú yìí màá yá tẹ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ẹ ọmọ aná mi ẹkọ ní ẹgbẹ èmi náà mọ́gẹ́lẹ́ wẹ̀ gẹ̀rẹ́ nígbó wẹ̀ wà yàbọ̀ mi nígbà yàbọ̀ àwọn ẹ̀rẹ́ ta yàbọ̀ ẹ àwọn yàbọ̀ ẹ ẹ̀mí yàbọ̀ wù ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀dà yìí náà ayiwa ẹ̀mí náà kẹ́kẹ́ ọ̀nì ọ̀gbẹ́ nìkẹ́ yà kẹ́ kọ́tù múdà wọ ọ̀mí ẹ̀kọ́ ní ọ̀rọ̀ náà ní máa gbé dòsún àná náà àyìnbẹ́ àhíyàn ìwé gbé ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn yìí wà.
ẹni wa wàdà yìí ma ẹ̀mú yìí ọwọ́ tẹ́ do ẹ̀ máa gbọ́ kànáà ọ̀nà àdé kan èyí ni bóyá fẹ́ lọ́sẹ̀nù yìí náà yìí sẹ́ ẹ̀mú òtù ọ̀pá màá yẹ ọ̀tẹ̀wé nàkún bí dáwé nàkún alẹ́ àdúdúkùn aziwo uhima ya sẹ́ni wọn ẹ̀ ya ìwẹ̀ ìmàwé wà lẹ́dọ̀ ìyíma ní bí ẹ̀dọ̀ ya fẹ́ ma ní níwọ̀n ẹ̀ ma ní ebi ẹ̀lẹ́ mọ́ ni màá gbìyànjú máa gùn à ni màá rí agbó ìwọ̀n máa gùn à ní àná eré politics ni màá láwòwò uyọ́rẹ́ nàìjíríà uyọ́rẹ́ má lẹ́dọ̀ náírà mọ́ ẹsẹ̀ o ẹ̀ máa ná mọ́ ẹ̀ ògì bọ́tà ọ̀dẹ̀ náà tọ̀ ọba àtọ́pẹ́
ìṣẹ́ ẹ̀.
Oh,
Certainly the best.
Every year, the people of Okoromi, a village near Benin City, the headquarters of Edo State, roll out their drums to celebrate Ugioswen Ware Nohun Tete. The festival is known for peace and progress and was established by Oba Eware I during his reign as Oba of Benin. The festival is also to remind the people of the end of the year and offering of sacrifice to the god of peace and harvest in the land. Okoromi is a peaceful community, and the people are loving, caring, and associated with progress over the years. Ugioswen Ware Nohun Tete celebration goes with masquerade to identify the festival with the ancestors. The masquerades will dance to confirm the acceptance of the gods.
Certainly the best.
Coming up on TPI.
They were like, hey, have you ever, thought about acting? And I was like, well, I'm an actor, actually. And they're like, we're talking about porn.